Hello, this is Justin Feyereisen, and you are listening to 88.7 WRFW, River Falls, Wisconsin. I got a great show planned for you today. I've got a lot of cool stuff to talk about, including Thor Ragnarok and the Cars trilogy. So, the newest film in the theater is Thor Ragnarok. This is what I saw this weekend. I saw it on Thursday in 3D, and I typically don't see 3D movies, but I did, and the 3D was very enjoyable. I wouldn't say it's the greatest film in 3D. I don't think it's necessary to enjoy the movie, but if you are a fan of 3D, I don't think it's worth the extra money, but if it was entertaining 3D. And what made Thor Ragnarok so interesting was the director Taika Waititi. I talked last week about how he did What We Do in the Shadows, which was a great comedy about vampires in New Zealand. And that was so different. It was so unique. Thor Ragnarok has an incredible cast. Chris Hemsworth returns as Thor. Tom Hiddleston returns as Loki. Idris Elba returns as Heimdall. Then you got some new faces. You got Kate Blanchett as Hela, Jeff Goldblum as the Grand Master, Tessa Thompson from Creed plays Valkyrie, Carl Urban is Scourge, Mark Ruffalo is Bruce Banner / Hulk. And there's also some cameos in this film, which I didn't get my first time, but I'm going to definitely come back sometime in a week or two to see it. Sam Neill, I knew he was in the movie, but I didn't really know who he was. There's a play in the movie, and he plays Odin when they're doing this play. Luke Hemsworth, who is the youngest brother of Chris Hemsworth, plays Thor in this play. And also in this play, Loki is portrayed by Matt Damon from the Bourne movies. So look out for that when you see it. So there were some great things about this movie, and there were some not so good. One of the not so good things about this movie was I miss Lou Ferrigno. He was the Hulk in the television series, and it's so interesting when you go back and watch that, because they literally painted him green, and there's some great, really weird, campy scenes, but it's the 70s, and it's a lot of fun, like when they have Lou Ferrigno in the river, and he's fighting a bear, and it's actually like a real bear, and this guy in green paint fighting him. And he voiced the Hulk in the television series where he was actually painted green and did everything. In Ang Lee's 2003 film, he was the Hulk. And he was the voice of the Hulk in The Incredible Hulk, in the Avengers, in Avengers Age of Ultron. And he has his own character in Lego Marvel Superheroes, the video game, which is just a normal, big, beefy, strong man, but then he turns into the Hulk, and it's just like a green Lego minifigure, but he has all the strength of the Hulk, so he can destroy cars. And Lou Ferrigno from the Hulk and Celebrity Apprentice, he's not in this movie, though he has a big connection with the Hulk, and I miss that, but it doesn't ruin the film for me that he's not in it, because I knew at some time you need to move on from Lou Ferrigno, and Mark Ruffalo is in the motion capture suit, and he does the voice, and it's a very different Hulk from the other Hulk films, but I still very much enjoyed it, and I love the Hulk character, and I enjoy the Incredible Hulk a lot more than a lot of people do, but the Hulk is just a great side character, and he was some of my favorite parts about the Avengers. He was some of my favorite parts about Avengers Age of Ultron, and just like that fist bump in the Avengers where he's fist bumping Thor and he throws Thor across the room. And there are a lot of great callback to really cool Hulk moments in the Avengers. And Jeff Goldblum. I love Jeff Goldblum. Jurassic Park is one of my favorite films, and Jeff Goldblum plays Ian Malcolm in that, and he is just so unique, and he's just so different as an actor, and he has his own style. And he's playing the Grandmaster, who is related to the Collector, a character from Guardians of the Galaxy. And they're like cousins or something. And he's just so different. He's got like a scooter that he rides around on. He is in charge of this planet Scar. I believe that's what it's called. I didn't write it down. Yeah, so he's in charge of this planet, and they have these big gladiator fights, and he controls this planet, and he entertains the people through gladiator fights. So as you've seen in the trailer, the Hulk is the champion gladiator, and Thor gets banished from Asgard, and he ends up on this planet, and he's in these gladiator fights, and he has to get off of the planet and figure out how to do that. Another film that I really like is Lord of the Rings, and Cate Blanchett is in that. She plays Galadriel, the elven princess, elven queen of Lothlorien. And there's another guy in that, Karl Urban. And if you don't know who Karl Urban is, you've probably seen a lot of his movies and just don't realize it. He was Dredd in the Dredd film. He was Bones McCoy in the most recent Star Trek films. He was also in that Disney film a couple of years ago with the Pete's Dragon. That's it. So he's this guy that goes around, but he's always has makeup and stuff over his face. But he's another actor which I really like. And he was Éomer in Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, and The Return of the King, Theoden's nephew. And he plays Scourge in this. And the Hela-Scourge relationship is a great relationship. And it's one of the parts I really like about this movie. And it's just so interesting that these characters have this history of being in Lord of the Rings, and now they're in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And Idris Elba, who's in everything nowadays. He was in Thor and Thor the Dark World and Avengers Age of Ultron in the MCU. But he was one of the best parts in Pacific Rim, and I'm so glad that's getting a sequel. I'm so excited. He was in Zootopia and Finding Dory, and he played Shere Khan in the 2016 Jungle Book movie. And I thought of the times that he's playing this character of Heimdall, the guardian of the Bifrost, the rainbow bridge between Asgard and Earth and the other realms. I thought his story in this was very intriguing, and I want to see this movie again. I really like this movie. Where it fits in my MCU placing that I did last week, I had a great show. I had a guest on, Brent from Nerdy Nuggets, but that did not include Thor Ragnarok. And I would move Thor Ragnarok into my 11th place, and I would push Iron Man 3 down into 12th, and henceforth and so forth. I believe it's between Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and Iron Man 3. I still think this is a very enjoyable film. I'd give it an 8.0 out of 10, and if you haven't seen it yet, I would highly recommend it.